Unicorns and glitter and taxidermy critters are just some of the things they like. They also enjoy 80s hair bands, Grizzly Adams and John Goodman, so if you think that's weird then you can take a hike. But the things they enjoy the most are making art and cracking jokes, so without further ado, here are your hosts. You've got your two artsy gals, Here are your two artsy gals.
Hey everybody, this is Katie.
And this is Lonnie.
And you're listening to Artsy Gals.
Woo!
Yay! So, I don't still have a cold. I do still have a cold. But in your world, it's been a week. But in our world, it's been like 15 minutes.
Yes.
So, because we record 2 episodes at a time. So yeah, I still have a cold because it's been 15 minutes. But I'm not dying of the plague. I'm going to cough and sneeze, and I'm going to try to edit out all the sniffing. I sniff a lot anyway, I've noticed.
Really?
Because I have allergies, all year-round allergies, and when I'm editing the podcast, now I'm like, oh my god, I fucking sniff all the time. How do people stand me?
My kid went through this horrible phase of sniffing, loudly. It was weird. Yeah. I was like, stop.
There was a kid that I used to hang out with when we were little that sniffed a lot. I hope you're not catching my cold.
No, I don't know. I've been doing this for a few days.
Oh, that's how mine
sneezing.
Snarted. That's how mine snorted. It snorted with the sneezing.
That's how they do snart. I wonder if we should have got more fizzy water before we started.
I don't know. Do you want one? I can push pause.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, I'm pushing pause. Lonnie's going to go get fizzy water. All right, we got our fizzy water now.
Yay.
Because my son calls this serial killer soda, by the way.
Why?
Because he said only serial killers drink club soda. He thinks it's a weird thing to drink.
Huh.
I think he's weird.
Yep.
I don't think that I'm a serial killer, and I find seltzer water to be delightful.
Yes.
It's fizzy.
Yep.
And it's water. And the Safeway brand has 0 sodium in it.
Awesome.
So I buy the Safeway Refresh brand.
Yeah.
Because, when you're over 40, sometimes you have to watch your sodiums.
Yep.
You probably should anyway, but,
Yeah.
it happens.
With my ankles.
Right?
Yeah. My water ankles.
Me too. We are old ladies. Boo-hoo-hoo. We're still awesome, though.
Yeah.
So, today... Oh, I know what I was going to talk about first. So, here's the thing. We need to raise money for a new computer for the podcast because this one is on its last legs and it's going to die. I'm still nursing it along with my limited knowledge on making computers last longer than they should. But I am going to do a limited run of probably, I think, 8 of my skeleton mermaid pieces. I have figured out a new way to do them. Like the one that I did for the podcast, which I don't know if I actually ever posted a picture of it completely finished.
I thought...
Because I focused on the wiring. It was from the wiring episode. I will post pictures of them. I'm trying to figure out pricing right now. So, pricing... I want to make them a little bit less expensive than I normally would because it's to raise money, but I also need to be able to raise money and cover my costs and all of that. So I'm probably next week will announce the pricing and the sale. I don't know if we're going to do pre-order or if I'm just going to put them up for sale or what, but it's going to be an opportunity for you guys to buy a piece of my artwork at I'm going to try to keep them between $80 and $100 a piece, which will cover the materials and my time. I just don't know what the price point is going to be right now. Also, the holidays are coming up, so you could drop some hints if you want one for a holiday gift, or if you just want to get one for yourself, or you want to get one for someone else. I'll announce next week what the pricing is going to be probably and when they will be available. I don't think I want to do a pre-order situation just because, I don't know. I don't want to be out money if people decide they don't want to buy them. But anyway, I'll let you know more about it next week. And I think, Lonnie, did you say you were going to...
I know. Is that okay if I join in on this? Because I'm like, well, I should try to raise money for a computer too. I have So, yeah, I'm thinking about making unicorn heads that you hang on the wall.
I love those.
Yay!
Bonnie made
Mine probably won't be
one.
as big. I'm thinking not as big as the one I did before because of the drying time.
Yeah.
But still cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a sale to raise money for the new computer because I hate having to ask for, like, we do ask, this is a completely listener-supported podcast.
Yes.
We have no sponsors as it stands right now. We would like to have sponsors, but again, we average about 200 listeners a week, which is awesome, and we love, and thank you guys so much.
Yay, hi!
But we need more listeners before, realistically, we're going to be able to get sponsors interested in backing our show.
So I like this idea of us, bootstrapping it.
Yeah.
And doing it ourselves.
Totally.
Yeah.
So, but I feel like we always ask for money, and we do have, we have the donation button. On the website, we also have the wish list. And I think people do, they prefer to, buy us items. Mm-hmm. We try to list items that we're going to need for upcoming episodes to make examples and do show stuff for you guys so that we're not always out money. Because a lot of that stuff isn't stuff that I would normally do in my regular art every day. We just kind of try to experiment and play with new products to talk to you guys about them. Mm-hmm. So we have a wish list of stuff if you guys ever want to donate an item that you want to hear about. So anyway, we're going to sell some art to raise some money for the podcast computer.
Yay!
Because that's what we do. We use the computer for everything. Mm-hmm. Like this right now I'm talking and it's going into my microphone and into our mixer and into the computer. And my phone's ringing. Who is calling me? So, anyway, we're going to have an art sale.
Yes.
And the cat's back in here, people, so I don't know how things are going to go. It might get loud. She might be nice. Now she's rolling around being cute, so we'll see how it goes. But today, I guess this is our fourth Halloween episode.
Hey, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. And Halloween's next week.
Oh.
When this airs,
excited.
this will be the week before Halloween.
Nice.
Our costumes should be coming along if things are going as planned.
So I know, I'm hoping it works out.
Next week we're going to we're just going to have a Halloween wrap-up episode. We're going to show pictures of because I think next week we will air the day before Halloween, our final episode in the series of Halloween stuff. So we'll post pictures of our costumes. We're also going to talk about creepy Halloween past, the way the old schoolers did costumes back in the Victorian era, and just, But this week, we're talking about how to get your haunted house on.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of feelings about haunted houses.
What are your feelings?
Well, I'm just going to come right out and say, as much as I love Halloween, I have come to not like haunted houses.
Yeah, I've never really been.
I used to like them. When I was younger, I really liked them. But here's the thing.
Yeah?
I don't think they fucking need to involve clowns.
Oh, well, yeah.
And that's a big thing these days. Every fucking haunted house has a clown in it. Now, it used to be when I was a kid, I never had to worry about seeing a clown in a haunted house. They had witches and vampires and zombies and Frankenstein's monster and mummies and your regular average run-of-the-mill animals and bats and
Wolfman,
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Fuck off with the clowns. Because I don't like being that scared. I have a phobia.
Yes.
I think we've established this.
Yes.
The last time I went to a haunted house, my husband took me. It's where the old movie theater used to be over by Washington Square. Do you remember that theater? It was down in by Washington Square. There used to be a movie theater there. It closed.
Okay.
In the early thousands, it closed. 2000s. So the last time I went to a haunted house was probably the first time I ran into a really scary clown in a haunted house. Aww. And we were asked to leave because I freaked out and punched a clown in the face.
Oh my god.
It was a knee-jerk reaction. I wasn't being tough. I wasn't being a badass. I was a fucking instant terror.
Oh no.
It's not funny. It's not cool. I don't like being scared like that because I really really, I have a phobia of clowns, and
Yeah.
I fucking punched a poor dude in the face. Hard enough that it pissed him off, and he went and told somebody, and we were asked to leave the haunted house, which was fine by me because I was crying and trying to find a way to get out of there quickly.
Yeah.
If you do ever want to get out of a haunted house quickly and you can't figure out, punch somebody because they'll come get you and escort you out
Yes.
through side doors. So I don't
brought back a traumatic memory
I don't
for
go
me.
to haunted houses anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they can be cool. And they can be exciting and they can be fun for trick-or-treaters for you to do in your houses. And so we're going to talk about that. But I want to hear about your traumatic experience because you look distressed.
It was distressing, and it was at the fucking Rose Festival. It was at the Rose Festival. But they had this, like, you know, they have the exotic animal zoo, or the reptile zoo thingy, or whatever that they, I don't know, it's this traveling, anyway, it's reptiles.
Yeah, I'm imagining
but then
big
they
snakes.
they added this haunted house bullshit. And of course, I was with my little daughter and our neighbor friend, this kid that was like, I think he was 11 or 12 at the time. And they really wanted to go. I'm like, you guys, it's probably going to be scary. Okay, let's go. Well, the gist of it was pitch black. You couldn't see where you were going. You had to feel your way through. And there was a person that probably had fucking night goggles on that would get right up in your face and be like, whoa.
Again, I would probably get thrown out for punching people.
The neighbor kid that I brought with us got smacked in the face. He had a big red nose when we came out of there. He doesn't know if someone punched him or if he ran into one of the fucking walls that you couldn't see. I was carrying my kid. She was clinging to me and crying and screaming for dear life. And I could hear this person that was breathing in my ear and like right in my fucking personal space. And I was like, just get me out of here. Get me out of here. I was screaming the whole time. It was fucking horrible. And there was nothing going on. There was nothing popping out because there was no light. It was completely black in there. It was horrible.
That's weird.
It was horrible.
Never again. I think what we've gleaned from this, from our traumatic experiences, is that there's good haunted and there's bad haunted.
Yeah.
So
you don't have to give people PTSD.
No. Here's the thing that I think, being startled is funny and fun.
Yes.
Like going, my God.
It's a second of like, my God. And then you're like, oh, that was so fake or whatever. Yeah.
Startled is good.
Yeah,
but actually striking terror in the hearts of your guests, not awesome.
No.
It spoils the mood.
It makes me want to cry.
Yeah.
It was horrible. It was horrible.
So we're kind of going to go, we're going to talk about some shit that we've liked in haunted houses, shit that we haven't liked in haunted houses, ideas that we found for haunted houses. And this kind of goes along with the decor theme that we were talking about earlier in the month. And I think also ways to do a scaled down version of haunted houses, like maybe a haunted porch or a haunted walkway or a haunted driveway. So you don't have to, because here's the thing that I never want. I don't want fucking neighbor kids up in my house. On Halloween. Like, I don't want people to run through my house.
Mm-hmm. I could do a haunted garage if you had a garage.
You could do, like, just your garage. Just, like, actually, a lot of people used to do that. They would, like, wall off their garages and make you have to go around. I'm really talking with my hands today. I'm, like, smacking every piece of equipment we have. There she goes with the fucking wrapping paper again.
Yeah. Because it's sparkly. Cute.
And she's going to eat it again.
That's so cute.
She's such a jerk.
She's making confetti. Catfetti.
She's just sitting there ripping it up.
Yes.
She's a total a-hole.
It's hilarious.
Oh my God, she's spitting it out.
She's spitting it out. She's going to stop as soon as I start videotaping it.
It's because they know.
Kitty. Oh my God.
My cat has been she's been especially awful lately too. I don't know what her deal is. What was your favorite haunted? Have you had a favorite haunted house experience?
Yes. I think it was at the Vancouver School for the Deaf. They did one every year. I don't know if they still do. I think they do in Salem. I think they have one in Salem. And they would put on a big haunted house to raise money for the school. And the deaf kids were freaking awesome. And they make some creepy... I mean, they make scary noises. And I'm not trying to be mean to deaf kids or anything, but I mean, because it was fun. And they'd be like, whoa, and you'd be like, whoa, because, I don't know, I liked that a lot. It was cool, and it was like a walkthrough thing. They set up the gym with, like, partitions, and you just walk through, and they were all in costumes and would just kind of poke out and make scary noises, and yeah.
That's fun. And I think it's also funner when there are kids being the scary people.
Yeah.
Because it's kids.
Yeah, they're not.
And even when you're a
threatening
kid,
as an adult,
it's another kid. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes adults in costumes can be threatening.
A little carried away.
Yeah.
Just a little.
I think that reminds me of this. My grandma always told this story because it frightened her so bad that this adult on Halloween came to her door dressed as like Jason with a machete and lifted his machete, and it scared the shit out of her, and she just slammed the door. She was like, no, like, and she was always like, what was he thinking? What was he thinking? And
I was just thinking, I'm going to scare an old lady.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know, but that's awful. I'm sorry
you're not going to get any fucking candy if you go around scaring grandmas.
Yeah, it's not how you...
No, it's not nice.
It's not how you win Halloween. No.
I think the town that I grew up in for a while did like and I want to say I was in middle school age. Maybe later. I'm pretty sure it was middle school. They did a haunted house for a few years, and it was in the old school gymnasium. Like there used to be a school in the town I grew up in, but it burned down. But the gym was still there, so the gymnasium was used for like you could rent it from the city. Mm-hmm. And use it for different things. And so they would have a big Halloween party in the upstairs, and there was a creepy basement, and so they would use the basement to the old school. My grandpa went to that high school. I think my mom was the last class through the grade school before the whole school burned down. And then she went to middle school. That's when Bay City kids went to Neocotty. So this burned down like in the 60s.
Wow.
The basement, though, it was just neat. Like, the adults had done it for the kids. I think I got to actually be in the haunted house for a while, although I don't remember in what capacity. I don't remember what I did. I do remember that I helped little kids out that got scared. Mm-hmm. Like, I was the point person for, like, little kids to get them out. But it was fun. Like, the grown-ups made the props and they weren't trying to, like, terrify... I guess there are people that like that, though. Like, my husband's cousin's ex-wife really, really likes haunted houses. Like
to get terrified.
Loves being terrified.
Yeah, some people do. I'm not.
I like the startled level.
Yeah.
Like, you jump out and scare me. Oh my god, that was scary, and then it's funny.
Yeah.
Or even mildly creepy. Mildly creeped out's okay. Like, I giggle when I'm creeped out sometimes. I'm like, oh my god, that was so creepy.
Yeah.
But
making me want to do a haunted house.
Dude, I know. It makes me wish that I had trick-or-treaters, but we never, ever, ever have trick-or-treaters here, so...
I don't have very many.
But again, I think I brought this up on another episode. Our little front walkway would be the coolest area to, like, make haunted.
It would. Yes, it really would.
It would be like the little haunted gauntlet, and people could go through. Because it's like, our driveway's really steep, but we have a retaining wall along one side that's like a rock wall, and then it's just our house, so it makes this little sidewalk. There's a sidewalk and a little path that goes up to the front door, but it's all closed in. And there's a big tree at the head of it, so I feel like it would be super easy to make it super, super scary.
Yeah. My friend in California does this great thing where they set up canopies in front, like the pop-up canopy tents in front of their garage. I think she does a couple of them, and then I think includes the garage, and they totally deck it out with strobe lights, and it's like a little maze you have to go through to get to your candy. And I think they're the hit of their neighborhood because they do that every year. She gets way into it. It's really cool. I'm like, I love that you do that.
Here's
That's
a great
so
idea,
rad.
too, because my friend Sarah, and I think she moved, so I don't know that they're doing it anymore, but she used to live in Vancouver. And they would do, every year, she just added more and more, and they did a whole haunted house. Like, they opened it to the neighborhood, the kids would have to go through, and...
Their whole house?
Their whole house. Like, the downstairs level of their house
so
was
fun.
a haunted house. And it got so big and so popular that they went and asked the Oregon Food Bank for a donation barrel, and they took donations for the Oregon Food Bank as an entrance fee to the haunted house.
Nice.
And so people in the neighborhood knew. I mean, like, they wouldn't say, you don't have food, you can't come in.
Right.
But it was just kind of a cool way to get food donations, too. So, and you can do that anytime if you ask. I know in Oregon, if you ask the Oregon Food Bank, and probably in other states, I'm not sure, I couldn't really tell you. But if you contact local food banks and you want to do something like that, I'm sure that
yeah, we have like a community closet or something kind of thing. Yeah, that would
super
be really
easy. But it was really
cool,
fun. I think it just got so big, and every year they just added more. Because, my favorite fucking episodes of Roseanne were always their Halloween episodes.
Yeah.
I love Roseanne. I watch it on Netflix.
I like
Roseanne rewatching the
too.
whole thing. But they always had a really cool Halloween episode.
Yes,
and I always remember the year that they did the haunted house episode, and it was really good.
Yep. You just made me think that if I was ambitious enough, we could do like our garage and then have it go through to the backyard, and we have a big backyard, and I'm sure you could do some kind of spooky outdoor thing too.
Yeah, and black plastic.
Yeah.
Is cheap and easy to get, and you can
and like PVC pipe or something and make.
So let's talk about some ideas.
That'd be really cool.
Some things that we could do that were creepy in haunted houses. This is actually really simple, and it would be something easily done outside. My son's school, because they've politically corrected the fucking awesome out of everything in public schools. Yeah. So they have a harvest festival.
Oh, yeah.
Which to me is dumb because they call it a harvest festival, but it's a fucking Halloween party.
Yeah.
There's a haunted house and the kids wear costumes. Let's just fucking call it Halloween.
Yeah.
And stop being stupid.
But
honestly.
Have the devil.
Whatevers. Whatevs.
Halloween is of the devil.
Of my butthole. You can't fucking do anything anymore. Whatevs. But anyway, one of the things they did that was really creepy, and I think it was my son's aftercare in the school, they rented part of the school this is when he was in elementary school. So they rented part of the school, so they were part of, they always had a booth or something going on in the Harvest Festival, and they did one of the rooms in the haunted house, and they took plywood and made this corridor, and everything was painted green, like this gross, slimy, limey green, and all they did was cut holes in this green, and then everybody had these green gloves, like spandex gloves, and there were just hands coming out of the walls, but some of them were like fake hands in green spandex gloves, and some of them would reach out and touch you.
That's really cool.
And it was creepy, and the light, there was a green light in there, and it was really disorienting and weird. So it was this 2 walls of hands. Only some of them were hands that would touch you, and some of them weren't, and you didn't know which ones were. And then they would reach out and touch you. And it was cool, and it wasn't creepy.
Yeah.
But it was scary, and it was funny. It was hilarious.
We
went through that 4 times. August was like, let's do it again. But he got to be in part of it for a while. He was one of the hands that reached out for a while, and they helped build it.
And that's funny because they can't see from the other side. They just hear people screaming or whatever, laughing.
Oh my God, he said it was the best thing ever. He had so much fun. So that kind of thing is super easy to do. Plywood, you could do spray paint it black and have black gloves. Mm-hmm. Whatever.
Or you could even probably use canvas and hang it up. I guess, I don't know, that would work as well, but yeah.
Probably pretty inexpensive to do. And I know I talked about it last year in our episode. Our dentist, when I was growing up, he lived in the same town that we did. He always did the whole driveway up to his house was haunted. And then his carport. And
that's fun.
And then he had a huge casket, like a full-size casket that he had made out of plywood that you would come get your candy out of at the end. But you always went through his haunted driveway, and he stopped doing it because vandals ruined it too many years in a row, which fucking teenagers are jerks.
Yep.
Don't be jerks and ruin shit for everybody else, you jerks.
Yeah.
Plus, he was a really, really nice man, so I always felt really bad that people were, fucking his stuff up.
Yeah.
Plus, don't screw up the shit for the guy that gives out full-size candy bars. Because he just bought full-size candy bars. It wasn't even those mini shit, because the dentist, hello, he's ensuring he had business. But driveways would be, I always thought it would be cool to do the old house that we lived in. But again, nobody ever trick-or-treated there because there was no sidewalk. Yeah. And it wasn't a safe area, but it was fucking creepy. Like, I didn't like walking up our driveway.
Yeah.
Because it was like a quarter of a, well, probably about an eighth of a mile.
And it was so fun.
Over this creek, and it was like, it was really,
lighting.
Yeah. And there were old trees, like we had weeping willows that hung over the driveway. It would have been really neat. But we found some really cool ideas of decorations that would be...
I have this weird vision in my mind of like, and I don't know where I saw this, but just like sheet plastic like you would put down when you're painting, and like bloody handprints and a strobe light inside of it.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, really creepy looking, and like, you know, kind of blood running, like blood splattered and running in handprints, and just the flashing strobe light through it, like, I don't know.
Totally.
It's kind of creepy.
Well, and also I think black lights are a cheap way to make things look creepy. Remember on the lighting episode we talked about those stupid white plastic masks that you can give to craft stores?
Yes.
Dude.
They make I saw glowing ones at the Goodwill.
Well, they also...
had blacklight ones.
Yeah, well, a white one will glow in a black light anyway. It doesn't matter. And you can just, like, have
like
a whole hallway with those masks on the wall. Yep. They're, like, seriously, like, I don't even think they're $1 a piece. Like, they're cents. Probably can buy a pack of them.
That's cool, the face coming out of the mirror. Oh, I could do that with paper mache, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know, Lonnie's all like, what?
I'm going to buy some baby heads.
Yeah. A lot of doll stuff. People have done stuff with dolls.
Because they're creepy.
Because dolls are fucking creepy. I'm not going to lie. Dolls fucking... Dolls give me concern.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of, like, there's a whole room.
I love that mirror one. Oh my gosh, yes.
Also, there's a whole room in one of these examples where they've just created this scene of dolls. Like, probably it looks like a tea party or something, but everything's painted white.
Ooh.
So the dolls are all spray painted white, their clothes are painted white, the tablecloths, and everything's spray painted white. And it looks eerie.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's very creepy.
That's cool.
This is easy stuff. It's easy to make things creepy. And then, so, I found this thing is really, really unnerving. We did those liquid starch ghosts with the cheesecloth.
So cool.
But I also saw these people someone took a doll and they set them on, like probably a bigger doll. Mm-hmm. And they set them on the edge of like a bench and they draped them in fabric that had been, there's red fabric and there's white fabric. They draped them in fabric that had been soaked in the liquid starch and let it dry. So then when you take the doll out, it's this creepy ghost. They're like little ghosts, like empty fabric sitting on the edge of a chair. You could put one of those on your fucking front porch. Mm-hmm. That's creepy.
It is creepy. Are these hanging this head with the draped fabric? That's really creepy, too.
I feel like for those, you probably have to buy, like,
a mask?
Use a mask or something to do it with. Because I know I wouldn't stand underneath fabric long enough for the fucking liquid starch to dry.
That head is really scary in the jar. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. People, so you can buy these big fucking cheap glass jars.
Yes.
Storage containers. Like, they're kind of you get, like, in the candy stores where they have all the candies in them. People are putting colored water and doll heads in them and backlighting them. Fucking totally creepy and awesome. Yeah. There's one that's full of like doll arms and legs.
Oh my gosh.
So you could just go to the goddamn Dollar Tree or dollar store or whatever, Goodwill, buy a bunch of cheap old nasty dolls.
Oh, those are kind of cute.
Yeah, and you take their heads off and put them in jars of water, like colored water.
I love all these ideas on our Pinterest. You guys have to check it out.
Yeah, check out the Pinterest. I think there is a picture of hands and stuff coming out of a wall, which is what reminded me.
It looks like a horse stall almost.
Yeah, it's what reminded me of my son's haunted house that he did.
Yes. Ooh, I'm gonna try the chicken wire dress for my front yard. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but we
have a couple weeks before this will go up, so maybe you can buy the cheaper chicken wire too that's like not meant to actually I don't think it's meant to hold chickens into anything.
Yeah, well, I have this stuff already that I removed from a coop that I got, so I'm going to try to use that since I just have it laying there in a wad that I'm like, I
Yeah,
should
and you
do
can spray
something
paint
with
it
this.
white.
Yeah, or with the glow-in-the-dark spray paint.
Oh, glow in the fucking dark spray paint. Do that.
Yes.
And then it'll be all creepy in your front yard.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I want to see
I do
it.
have a black light, too. I have to figure out.
I think Lonnie mentioned in the lighting episode, she was talking about a dress that had like hands and stuff in the tooling.
Yeah,
and I found that and put it on the Pinterest. And it is fucking creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like it would make a great Halloween costume, but also if you
Yes.
just had this dress like hanging against the wall,
Yeah.
empty, but with the light up hands up underneath it reaching up, that would be a creepy thing to walk by.
Yeah. 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 Totally.
Because I do feel like part of the bummer about having a haunted house at your house or running a haunted house is having to work in the haunted house. I mean, it's fun for a while, but you have to have people in there to do stuff. So I think these ideas are a great way to have like things that are creepy, but not have to have
A person
there. Because then
Yeah.
it gets to be like you have to have so many people volunteer, and
Yeah.
and if you're having everybody you know volunteer to be in your haunted house, no one's going to come to your haunted house because they're going to be in your haunted house.
That's right. That's right.
That's going to suck, man.
Yep. So fun. I love this stuff.
There's just
really
really
like
simple, creepy ideas. There's the white dolls. Like,
With the painted eyes.
they painted their
my
eyeballs
God.
white. Yeah, it's creepy.
That's rad.
It's very creepy.
And their skin is like bluish gray. Yeah.
You know, and that's another thing I feel like a lot of haunted houses get wrong. So let's go through some things that haunted houses get wrong. I think just having people scream constantly, jumping out screaming at you isn't necessarily scary. It's just damaging to your hearing.
Yeah. And hard on the person doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the screaming isn't exactly scary. Actually, I find it more terrifying
When it's quiet.
when it's quiet, or like when
Yes.
so you walk around the corner and someone goes, "Ugh," and like comes out at you making a noise, but not constantly screaming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I think the idea is to make the people going through the haunted house scream.
Right. Or someone's following you quietly and you don't know. Or something like that.
Just not in a pitch black room.
No. No. That was awful. Don't do
I wouldn't go
that.
into a room that was pitch black, only because I have really poor balance. Like,
Oh, of course it was lit up at first. This was just the last freaking half of this thing was the pitch dark.
yeah,
How the hell do I get out of here?
that's stupid.
Scenario. Yeah. I don't like that. I don't like that.
No. Keep bumping everything.
Maybe I'm paranoid.
No,
There's a
I don't think
high-
you're paranoid. I don't know. I went through the haunted house at the fair when I went to the Tillamook County Fair with my mom. It was so stupid.
Was it?
It was
Why?
the dumbest thing. Well, because it was on, like, you rode this little thing. Also, I think that it was meant for small children. So it was like a ride and you go through it. But all it was like not even people. It was just like some kind of stuffed Dracula costume popping up and going, "Ugh." All it was things popping up and making noise. But it was super dumb.
Yeah.
Speaking of noise, let's face it, it's important to have a creepy music soundtrack.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can get those anywhere.
Yeah.
You can get them at the fucking gas station.
Yeah.
You can buy them wherever. But do invest in like a creepy music, like that spooky soundtracky thing.
The footsteps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're cool.
I just realized I haven't been in a haunted house in a really long time because my kid is just so scared of everything.
Which
I
cracks
have a
me up
scaredy
because
kid.
your kid
Is into creepy
watches
stuff.
like creepy stuff.
I know. And likes doing like gory makeup and stuff.
That's
but-
kind of hilarious.
Yeah, but I think we got in line for a haunted house a few times and then it's just been like, I just can't do it. No. Too much anxiety. So,
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
yeah. I should maybe, now that my kid is 13, maybe this year is the year to just be like, we're doing this.
Yeah.
You're
Take her and
facing
make her
this
go.
fear. Yep. And me too. Because I'm not a huge fan of haunted houses.
Look,
I
I would
don't
go to
like
haunted
them.
houses every year if I could be promised that I wasn't going to get like
if I wasn't going to end
up in my face,
being harassed in a pitch dark room.
Yeah. I know we sound like big babies.
No, but
and then the clown thing, though, seriously, it's like a real phobia. Like, I can't help it. It's not just being startled or scared. It's like fight or flight happens, and I get nauseous, and I like...
I wonder what that is. We need to hypnotize you.
I know. We need to get rid of it.
Yeah,
You'd be surprised how often you just randomly run into clowns.
And I think that they like being creepy.
They do.
People that dress up like creepy clowns are like...
When our niece was here this summer, I don't know if I already told this story on the podcast or not, but she was here this summer, and our older niece, Bailey, who's 15, she was here, and we went to Powell's Books, and we were in Powell's, and she's like, pointed out, she was just like silently pointed, and I turned around, there was a fucking clown in Powell's, and I panicked, and I said, get out of my way, and I shoved strangers. And Bailey was like, oh my God, you can't do that. And she kept going, I'm sorry. And she was apologizing to people because I just panic and I can't fucking take it.
Wow.
It's this thing happens inside of me and I have to get out of there.
Wow.
I sweat. Like I sweat and I get a stomach ache and it's just bad. I shake. It's bad.
Wow.
So if I could know that, like I said, that didn't used to be a thing. People didn't used to put clowns in.
Do you think it was because of It?
No, because I feel like It was a thing when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like, that was a movie when we were kids.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, Halloween, there's always a danger of running into a clown on Halloween.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I'm a little bit nervous about the Halloween party that we're going to this year. We're going to Casey's Halloween party.
Uh-huh.
I don't know that there will be clowns there. Like, I don't know why that would be a go-to costume for someone.
Not.
But when we go out, like, we haven't been out for Halloween in a lot of years, but when you go out, like, there's always a clown.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, if I know they're there, I can avoid them, but it's when I'm surprised by them.
Especially with the last season of the
American Horror Story. I couldn't watch it.
I'm sure that clown's going to be out there.
I couldn't watch it at all. Like,
he was pretty creepy.
I wanted to, but just the commercial for it made me feel like I was going to throw up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's bad. But I don't want this to be Katie's Clown Phobia episode. So let's move on. But I totally spaced off where we were going with that now, though.
I don't know.
I think that the thought of doing a haunted house yourself seems a little bit daunting when you're talking about your whole house.
Yeah.
It's expensive. And again, you have people in your house.
Yeah.
But I feel like like we were saying before, you can focus on one area outside of your house, or even like if you have a big porch, make a haunted porch. Mm-hmm. And just do these things on a smaller scale, even if you just make the area where kids have to walk up to get their candy creepy and haunted, that's enough.
Yeah.
Like, that's a cool house to go trick-or-treating at.
Yeah. One year, my friends and I think I was 13, so it was my last year of trick-or-treating, but we decided to go up to the West Hills just to see what it's like to trick-or-treat up there. It was rad. And this one lady, of course,
they probably give out the big candy bars.
Oh, yeah. Big, beautiful homes. So it's just cool because you kind of get a glimpse inside, you know. This one lady invited people into her foyer, which was cool black and white floor tile. And she had this bowl with just cooked spaghetti noodles that you had to reach into to get your candy out of. It was so neat.
That's cool.
I was like, that's so creepy and cool. Thank you. Like, yeah. That was fun. It was fun, dude.
My friend, I had a friend in grade school whose mom, I think that her birthday was on Halloween. And so she had a sleepover. No, it wasn't a sleepover, but it was a Halloween party. But I feel like it was for her birthday. But her mom did like all this stuff, like you would go into a room blindfolded and you had to like touch things. It was a game. You had to guess what they were, but it was like spaghetti. So it was like brains, and then the peeled grapes were like eyeballs and like stuff like that. It was creepy, but it was cool.
Yeah, that's fun stuff. I think now that my kid's getting older, we can have Halloween parties instead of going trick-or-treating. And I think that will be really fun.
You know, my husband's family used to do Halloween up really big. We would have huge Halloween parties. And when the kids were littler, we used to, like, we'd put them to bed and they'd go to sleep and they'd be all like crash out, and then like the grown-ups would be wasted and we'd be having a good time. Some of those parties got pretty out of hand. Like the cops came.
Oh.
Because we had a band.
Oh, wow.
Our friend's band played. But we did those for several years, and then we just kind of stopped doing them because the kids got older, and it got a little weird. Like, once the kids got to a certain age, they were like, okay, now they know that we're drunk and rowdy, and
yeah,
it got a little bit strange. And then we started going, like, my in-laws took us to Mexico 2 years in a row on Halloween. Mm-hmm. So we did, or maybe 3 years. Maybe it was 2 years. I don't know. We did Halloween a couple years in a row in Mexico. But now I feel like, now that my son is 20, he's going to be doing his own thing. I feel like my husband and I have Halloween back. Yeah. And we can go out and do things again. Because we used to go out a lot for Halloween.
Yeah.
Like, Kurt's family would always have the Halloween party, like, the weekend before Halloween. Mm-hmm. And then on actual Halloween, our kids would go, like, I always let my son do trick-or-treating with his dad and his little brother. Because they felt like, well, they would go to Selwood in the neighborhood that his grandparents used to live in. And that's a nice neighborhood to trick-or-treat in. And I just felt like it was important for him to be able to do that with his little brother.
Yeah.
So I would get him dressed up. We would kind of go around to houses around our house, and then I would take him to his dad's. And then Kurt and I would go out and do the Halloween thing. But now I feel like I said, I feel like we kind of have Halloween back. Now that we don't have any grandkids yet. And we can just go be wild and crazy as we are now. Because now I'm already thinking we can make it home before midnight.
Yeah. For a while, my kid, we would go trick-or-treating in Eastmoreland. There's this whole street that people really decorate. And it seemed like it was really fun for that neighborhood because at one point there was this, like, canopy the adults set up, and they were, like, drinking hot cider and probably other adult beverages.
Yeah.
And, like, it was like a block party for them while it was a big Halloween thing. I was like, how fun
I always wanted to live
like,
in a neighborhood that did block parties.
Yeah, me too. I live in a retired... They're just like,
I live on a weird street.
Yeah. I just live in an older neighborhood.
I don't know any of my neighborhoods. Creepy thing, total sidebar.
What?
But apparently last weekend, or it must have been last Thursday night, because I was editing the podcast and I had headphones on and I didn't hear any of it. But my neighbor girls texted me the next day and said, did you hear what was going on last night in the house behind us? And I'm like, no, what was happening? Apparently, the guy that lives in the house directly behind us, that yellow house down there, was screaming, like blood-curdling screams, yelling, get out of my house, help, somebody call 911.
What?
Like shrieking bloody murder. Like they heard him inside their house at like 11:30 at night.
No.
So it was during the exact time that I was in here editing, and when I edit the podcast at night, I always wear my headphones. Because when the dog hears himself bark on a recording of the podcast as I'm editing it out, then he barks again, and it's this big thing. So I don't know whatever happened. Like, they said the police went down there. They weren't there for very long. But they don't know what happened. I kind of want to look up the police report online.
Yeah, or
but
was he having a nightmare, or like...
The lights were on and everything. So, I don't know. I mean, he's a quiet guy. Like, we don't really know him. We've lived here for 6 years. And I've seen him once. Like, he came up because our old neighbor had a car that was sitting out in front, and he wanted to know if they wanted to sell it. That's the only time I've ever seen him. He's real quiet and keeps to himself. So, yeah, it was totally creepy, though.
That is creepy.
It made me because then I was home Saturday night alone after they told me about that, because Kurt went out, and he wasn't home when I got back from the party that we went to. The crafting party. So I was sitting here by myself thinking about that, like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What if somebody like comes into my house?
Awful.
Although I have a dog that barks, so.
Wow.
That was total sidebar, but.
Creepy.
Super creepy. But yeah. So ways to make our porch, like black plastic. You can get that black plastic on rolls. Mm-hmm. Just to make things dark.
Spiderweb. webs.
Spider webs, fake spider webs
Mm-hmm.
are super easy.
And those glow under a black light.
They do.
I think
Black
they make
lights are
glow-in-the-dark
really,
ones.
really good mood,
Yeah.
like creepy mood setter.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of strobe lights just because,
Yeah, for seizures.
yeah, and I
Yeah.
had a seizure like when I was 19 and they never figured out why, so I don't like being around. It
Yeah.
always makes me paranoid. But that's something that you might want to consider also, is you don't know if your neighbors have epilepsy or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But the black lights are definitely safe. They're definitely creepy.
Mm-hmm.
And they just kind of set an eerie mood.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there's, and again, all kinds of things are blacklight reactive.
Mm-hmm.
So you can make that. And then have you ever made, like, you can make, like, that slime stuff? Have you ever made that?
Yeah, I made flubber.
It's called oobleck. Yeah, flubber.
Okay.
And just
With the
borax
glue
and glue
Yeah,
and water.
Yeah.
You could make that and, like, drip it all over everything.
Ooh,
and that,
yeah.
or make people have to, like, touch it in some way. Don't forget to include all your senses.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like sight and sound, but also touch. Like
Yeah.
that can make things very creepy.
Yes.
I don't know how smell would play in, but I don't think I want to smell anything scary.
No.
I want good smelling things.
Yeah. I want candy corn smell
Yeah.
or something.
Not
Popcorn ball smell.
like dead smell.
No.
Dead smell's not good.
No. That's a mistake.
So disappointed. I bought a fake rat
Yeah. I have a fake
at the
rat.
dollar store the other
Uh-huh.
day when I was going on my little dollar decoration spree.
Uh-huh.
And I set it in Kurt's chair at the dinner table. So when he came to dinner, because I wanted to scare him, and he goes, "Eek! Oh!" Like he was making fun of me. So then I tried to scare my son with it, and he's like, "Mom, what is this?" And like, I didn't scare anyone with my rat. And then the dog got a hold of it and chewed all his whiskers off.
Oh.
I'm gonna bring it to my mom's. I'm going to my mom's this weekend. Maybe I'll set it in my grandma's chair.
That would probably
Because
work.
scare the 87-year-old lady.
Yeah.
That's the way to do
Yeah.
it.
If they have poor vision, maybe it would
Yeah.
help.
I feel like my mom's house would be a really good place for a haunted house. But again, do you think you would have to advertise a haunted house in the neighborhood, like with flyers or listeners? Do you
Yeah,
get trick or
or-
treaters?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's becoming less and less of a thing, isn't it?
I think it is.
We have a lot of churches in our neighborhood.
Then they always have like the safe family.
Yeah, they do trunk or treats. So people decorate the trunks of their cars, and then they hand out candy from the trunks of their cars, so the kids just go around. And,
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that's a little bit creepy.
yeah, it's a kind of,
I would rather have my kid go and knock on someone's door than go to the trunk of some creepy asshole's car. Like they could shove him in there and drive away.
Yeah, like
A
check
trunk
out
or
the
treat.
inside of my van. It's pretty
Right?
scary.
Candy in the van. Candy in the van.
Candy in the van. It's just teaching them that that's okay.
Right. You don't take fucking... Don't you know anything? Didn't they watch after school specials?
I guess not.
Jerks.
It's pretty funny. I've never gone to one of these, but I've heard about them. I think my kid went with her friend to the Mormon trunk or treat. Yeah.
Now I'm just picturing like...
Fog machine in the back of a van.
Ooh, fog machines.
Oh yes,
That's an easy way
we
to...
keep talking about it. We need to just get one.
Get one. They're
Yeah.
super cheap.
I think our yard would look cool if they
You have
had
to
the
buy the fog
low-lying
juice.
fog that just hovers over the yard. That's what I want.
Yeah. Our friends...
It's cool looking.
Our...
With the ghosty dress in the middle.
Right?
I
My
wanna get
mom
on
got a
this.
fog maker that you actually put in water. Like, so she
Oh.
can put it in her big fountain.
Cool.
It makes fog.
Oh, cool.
Because dry ice is awesome.
It doesn't
We
last
forgot to
long
mention
enough.
dry ice.
I did it
in the last
in a
episode,
cauldron
but-
the last few years,
But it goes away so fast.
Mhm.
It evaporates pretty quickly, especially
looks
if you
so
put it in
cool.
liquid.
I threw some glow sticks in a cauldron and then put some dry ice, and it looked so cool while it was going, but it just didn't last.
It doesn't last, no.
Mhm.
But fog machines are something that are always, and anymore, you can find those things online,
Yeah.
like Amazon or eBay. eBay is actually a pretty good resource for that kind of stuff because people are selling their shit that they don't. Super easy. They're super cheap now.
Yeah. I'm going to make Scott I'm going to call him on that promise.
Yeah.
We're getting a fog machine this year.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like you guys could have some pretty awesome ragers in your house.
Yeah.
You've got awesome stuff. Ragers. I wouldn't go to a rager anymore.
Get some kegs. We'll do some keg stands. Beer bongs.
Gross.
I know. Seriously.
I was so shocked. I was in
wish we didn't
Safeway the
live in
other day,
Vancouver.
and I cut down the beer aisle, and they had ping pong balls for sale in the beer aisle that just said Pong, and I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Do we have to make it that easy?
Yeah. I know.
I must be getting old that I think those kind of things now.
It is annoying.
I'm like, come on.
Come on, make these kids make some freaking effort,
Like,
you know?
Dude, we used to have to work for our fucking drinking games.
Yeah. And our alternative clothing and stuff.
Right?
Jeez.
It's hard to do stuff in flannel. Let's face it. I wear a lot of flannel.
And docks.
And Doc Martens. I still have Doc Martens. So I love my Doc Martens.
Yeah.
We're getting off track again. We didn't really plan for this episode.
Yeah.
I've been sick this week. I've been so sick that I did no planning. I didn't do outlines. I did nothing. Oh my God, we've been talking for almost an hour.
Whoa.
What the fuck? So yeah, haunted houses. Let's wrap this shit up.
Yeah. Just make stuff creepy. Just 'cause it's fun. But
Yeah.
no clowns. I don't know.
No clowns. We have some really great haunted house ideas on the Pinterest board. Super easy, affordable. Like, it doesn't have to be a big mechanical thing to be scary.
Yeah. You don't have to buy the $300 Spirit Halloween thing.
Don't go
Yeah.
to that store anyway. They're
Yeah.
overpriced. They smell like latex.
Yeah.
Gotta stop doing that. I'm talking with my hands again. Just the little things. Little things make something creepy. Make a few investment pieces like black lights and fog machines, and then it's all simple from there. It doesn't have to be a big crazy thing to make it something scary.
Yeah. Like, I made a creepy wreath with little
Yeah.
fake snakes and a spider in the middle. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Right there, people. Right there. You should take a picture of that wreath.
I think so. I will.
You totally should. So, if you guys have anything super creepy or cool, or any of you do regular haunted houses, we would love to see pictures of those.
Yes.
So send them to us and we'll share them in our Halloween episode next week with everybody. You can email those to artsygals@gmail.com, or if you just want to tell us about something awesome, you can call us
At 503-395-7190.
Leave a message on our voicemail. We'll play it on the show. We love
Yeah.
hearing from you guys. Follow us on all the social medias.
Yep.
We're on Pinterest. We're on that other thing, Twitter.
The Book of
I
Faces.
tweet sometimes. The Facebooks, we're on the Facebooks, peeps. Go there. We promise. I feel like this was the worst episode ever because we've just been jibber jabbering.
I know. Who
And
knows
now,
what we
like,
just
my
talked
cold
about.
medicine that I took before we started recording is really kicked in. I don't know if you've
Ooh,
noticed
do you
me
have a
getting a
tingly
little.
head?
I'm a little loopy. I'm a little
Nice.
dumb in the head right now. So next week we're gonna have kind of a recap of everything that we've talked about. We're gonna reveal our Halloween costumes. We're going to also talk about some creepy traditions of Halloween's past that we think should come back.
Yeah.
And that. So basically, we're just going to shoot the shit about Halloween. And then in November, we're going to get back to our regular artsy, fartsy programming.
Yeah.
So, but we're distracted by Halloween, so we just have to talk about it all the time.
I know.
For the entire month of
I know.
October.
'Cause nothing else is happening in my life but Halloween
No.
right now.
Nope.
I know.
I keep forgetting to mention, you guys can subscribe to us on Twitter, Jesus. Subscribe to us on iTunes and Stitcher. And what's the other one that people use? There's TuneIn or something. I don't know.
I use
There's a
Podcast
bunch.
Addict.
Yeah,
sometimes.
there are all kinds of apps that you can subscribe to the show on. You get a new episode every week, and then you can also, they archive all the old episodes, so they're easy to find. So anyway, next week, we're wrapping up Halloween. So until then, go make some cool haunted shit, yo.
Do it now.